Hello friends, this is lecture number 58 on the history of the English language. We started with the origin of language, now Old English, Middle English, then early modern English. When we have come up to appeal to authority, that is fixing, standardizing, purifying the language. And we saw how different people like Defoe, Swift, Addison, Dryden and Dr. Johnson, etc. They have done their work, very positive work, very positive strokes, you can say, to standardize the English language. Because it was not fixed. And he also saw that Bacon was lamenting that his works would not be read by the future generations if it would remain in English. So he was very happy when he said to his friend Mathew that all my works have been translated into English. Okay. But a dictionary of the English language in 2 folio volumes, published in 1755. So that is very important. The publication 1755. A dictionary of the English language in 2 folio volumes, published in 1755. Hailed as a great achievement. Hailed as a great achievement. As it was the work of one man, not an academy, without assistance. Maybe his biographer might have give him moments of relaxation. That's all, not any assistance such, and that is a short space of 7 years. So whatever is false, whatever you may say about give a list of its faults, but 3 things you should remember is the work of one man. One man. Then without assistance, without any assistance, help, without any assistance. Then a brief or short space of just 7 years. Well, academies in Italy and France took years for producing their dictionary. For 7 years. He became an academy. He was an academy source. Modern standards, if you consider and compare this dictionary with modern standards, there are many inadequacies out there. For example, there are certain problems pointed out, inadequacies pointed out by people. One is etymologies are ludicrous. It's not correct. Whims and fancy. Dr. Johnson was a person who had got a lot of whims and fancies. You remember I told you about his pet Hodge. He went himself to London to buy food for it. Pet cat Hodge. So that is. So some special. And one day it happened that he was wearing a worn shoes. Then somebody put a pair of shoes in front of his room. He did not use it. He threw it away and went on using his old shoes. These are some peculiarities about that man. Maybe it's because that he is a genius. Of course, that is not. We are not concerned about that. So here the concern is etymology. Etymology means origins of words. You see. Then another thing is that it was marked by prejudices. Personal prejudices, he had got one of the, this example of what is cigarette, fool at one end and fire at the other end. So that's a kind of, he has some prejudice towards smoking. Smoking is injurious to health, he knew that. So he gave a definition like that. And again, you might have come across this, that sentence, when I was perambulating in the streets of London, I met a rustic, and so on. You must have come across that sentence, no? So I converted his verticality into horizontality. Means I gave him one. That's it. I beat him instead of saying that I converted his verticality into horizontality. This kind of explanations and funny expressions you will find in him. So he was a person of prejudice, maybe, yes. And he said his definitions are generally sound. Often at the same time discriminating definition. Just now I gave you the example of this. Fool at one and so on. That is. Cough, for example. He gives definition, means meaning. Definition means here meaning. So the convulsion of the lungs vellicated by some sharp serosity. That is cough. So you know his cough. A convulsion of the lungs. So when you cough, what will happen? So that's convulsion. Isn't it? Shaking of the life, convulsion of the tongue, vellicated by. We don't have this word now in English. Vellicated by some sharp serosity. Serosity. Most of these words are not there. Vellicated. We don't have vellicated in English now. Serosity also. So that means, it is what happened. What you should imagine is that the lungs, they convulse. There is convulsion, a shaking, violent shaking of the lungs when you cough. Then what is the reason? Vellicated by some sharp serosity. What does that mean? It's something like when you eat chili, chili. Suppose you eat chili, then some strange feeling in your throat, you feel that. That may be vellicated by. So the cough is caused by that. So such kind of funny definitions and so on. And host of words listed in the dictionary, they were not English. So these are some defects pointed out by people. Means in those linguists, those are interested. The dictionary makers, you can say, lexicographers, other lexicography. Lexicographer means one who writes dictionary. Lexicographer. Lexicon. No? Lexicon means word. So lexicon. So lexicographers means those people who write dictionaries, they are called lexicographers. Now he was the first of the most important lexicographers of English language, you can say. Dr. Johnson was the first of the greatest of lexicographers in English language, in the English language, you can say like that. Now, but at the same time, you must understand, we have already stated, we have already given the list of the kind of some, in a way you can say false etymologies, not sure about it. Then the prejudices, he had prejudices. And another thing is that his definitions were discriminating definitions, like a cigarette, and very funny definitions like cough. See, many words were not English. So Webster, another lexicographer, he said, what has happened is he has multiplied corruption. That's what Webster said. Dr. Johnson, he has multiplied corruptions. That is what he said. Understand? That is the statement. Then he gives examples also. Webster gives. Incomposibility. A word listed in incomposibility. We know about possibility, but this is a word that you will find in Dr. Johnson's dictionary. But what is its origin? Where does it come? What is the meaning? Detention. Another word. Detention. Detention. We don't have it today. We have detention, but we don't have detention. And also conclusible. 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 So these are words that you will find listed in Dr. Johnson's dictionary. But that it is hailed as the greatest achievement in lexicography. Understand? But at the same time you can see some plus points. Plus points are one. Already I have told you, he was an academic. That is a plus point. Alone he did this work. So he is given the title of an academy, one-man academy. See, he is an academy. Sometimes we say, oh, he is an institution, we say. Oh, he is an institution, like that. He is an academy. Is it Boswell, his biographer said about Dr. Johnson, the man who had conferred stability on the language of his country. Very, very important. Boswell. If you want to write anything about Dr. Johnson, you should write like this. You should quote this. The man who conferred, means given stability on the language of his country. So what was the problem facing English those days? Stability. So dictionary has given stability to the language of his, on the language of his country. And in the preface to the dictionary, he had already written, what am I going to do? He said, and that he achieved. That's enough, no? His plan, he said, I have labored to reduce our language to grammatical purity. This is what it is. Dr. Johnson said. Johnson himself said, I have labored, means I have worked hard to reduce our language to grammatical purity. I have labored to reduce our language to grammatical purity and to clear it from colloquial barbarisms and to clear it from colloquial barbarisms. That is the second one. One to purify, then clear it, and licentious idioms and irregular combinations. Colloquial barbarisms and licentious idioms and irregular combinations. Irregular combinations. So what he has promised, he has done. You can say three things. No? One is reduce language to purity. That is one. Second is colloquial barbarism out. Colloquial barbarisms out. It's one of the problems plaguing the language those days. No? So colloquial barbarism. So one is making the language pure, his dictionary. Second is barbarisms gone, means bad expressions and so on. That is slang and so on. And irregular combinations, licentious idioms. Licentious. So idioms which have got some taste of obscenity and so on. That is licentious. And then irregular combinations. Combinations which are not accepted in the ordinary sense. So that he has done. So four things he did. Purified, barbarisms out, irregular combinations out, and then licentious expressions out. More than that, what he want. So, the 20th century effort to standardize the English language started with the keyword, the slogan of ascertainment, correcting, improving, and fixing the language, the permanent way. Correcting, improving, and fixing. That's it. Purifying. After purifying all the faults. See? So removing all the faults. So that was achieved with the publication of Dr. Johnson's dictionary. A dictionary of the English language in 2 volumes. The work of one man, labored without assistance for a short space of 7 years. That's a great achievement. In spite of all the faults that people list, critics list, like words which are not found in the language, or like etymologies, wrong etymologies, like prejudice definitions, prejudicial definitions. Definitions means statements. And I forgot really one thing, this quotations. There's no other dictionary so far explain the meaning of words with quotations, and especially from Shakespeare. Very important point. I would have missed by now. Use of quotations from authors to explain the meaning. That was a great achievement. That was a plus point, so to say. And another is that, one more point is that, I forgot to tell you, exhibited the English vocabulary much more fully. That's another. So another plus point is exhibited the English vocabulary. Exhibited the English vocabulary, maximum number, so to say, more fully than had ever been done before. Exhibited the English vocabulary more fully than had ever been done before. Two very important plus points. Two very important achievements. On meanings, for explaining the meanings, he gave quotations from authors, from Shakespeare and other authors. The other day I told you about 8,000 quotations from Shakespeare alone, plus the largest number of words exhibited till then. Before that there were glossaries and list of difficult words, books on list of difficult words, etymological dictionaries and so on. But this is the first dictionary of the English language where the maximum number of words were exhibited. So far nobody has done that much. So these are two very important points when you consider Dr. Johnson's dictionary. Understand? Okay. So the man who had given stability on the language of his country, that is the statement, conclusive proof of the achievement, the great achievement of Dr. Johnson. Now we will go ahead with this ascertainment or standardizing. We will take another section, another group of people who were doing the same work, but they were grammarians, not lexicographers. Not lexicographers, but grammarians. We will see that in the next few classes. And then after that we will see expansion of English, Indian English, American English, Canadian English, Australian English. So it has become the language of the IELTS English, IELTS English, TOEFL English, ESP, English for special purposes. And then we have got the basic English, a lot of them. Those things we will see. So till we meet again, bye, have a nice day, enjoy your life. Bye.